Chassidic gems on Parshas Chukas. It says in the Torah, Sois Chukas HaTorah. Hashem says, V'yikchu elecha pora aduma temima. They should take a red heifer. Asher ein ba mum, asher loy olo oleha oil. That has no blemish, and upon which never came a yoke. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah lach say, this is something that every Jew has to have in mind. He has to have a she'ifa, a drive, to be tamimis. Like in Chabad, they say, Harav HaTomim. Tomim means somebody that's perfect. We have to become perfect Yidden. So tamima is something we should strive for. Asher ein ba mum. Now, who has to become a tamima? Who should become perfect? Who should have this in mind? All the members of Klal Yisrael, whether ein ba mum, whether he's a tzaddik, he has no faults, he has to still strive to become higher and higher and higher and closer to Hashem. And asher lo olo oleha oil, and even those people of Klal Yisrael that weren't makabel upon themselves yet, oil malchus shamayim, doesn't mean a yoke. The yoke is simple. Oil malchus shamayim, whether he's ein ba mum, he's a tzaddik, whether he's not such a tzaddik, he was not yet, he did not fully accept upon himself oil malchus shamayim. Every Jew has to see to get higher and higher and closer to Hashem, learn more Torah, do more chesed, and that is what the Torah wants, according to the Chassidic Torah. Continuing with Chassidic Torah on the same pasuk. Asher ein bo mum, asher loy olo oleha oil. That a pora aduma that doesn't have a blemish, and it doesn't have on it, it does not have upon it, it did not have upon it a yoke. Again, that's the simple. The Chassidic Torah, this is a different understanding. Rav HaKodesh Reb Yisrael Mikoznitz says like this: if somebody thinks, Asher ein ba mum, I made it already. He was Zoicha to perfection. Now I could sit back and do nothing. If a person thinks like that, it's a sign that loy olo oleha oil. It's a sign that he did not makabel. He was not makabel on himself. He did not accept upon himself the yoke of heaven properly. A Jew has to always feel he can't be a Muhammad Ali. I'm the greatest, I made it. That's wrong according to the Torah. Nobody ever makes it, because Torah is mayim she'ein lahem soif. Torah is waters that are never ending. So we have to strive constantly to become better and better and better and higher in Avodas Hashem. Continuing with Chassidic Torah, So it says in the parsha, V'choil kli posuach. We're talking about a kli cheres, an earthenware vessel. Asher ein tzomid posel. It's not closed tight. It's open. Tomei. That kli is tomei. If there is a corpse in that room, so it becomes tomei. From the outside, the vessel, if it would close tightly, it wouldn't become tomei. But if it's kli posuach, if it's an open kli that's not closed tight, it becomes tomei. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah say, what kind of a vessel are we talking about here? The Chassidic Torah say we're talking about the person's mouth. If his mouth is open wide, and he doesn't curtail whatever comes out of it. He doesn't care what comes out of it. What could come out of his mouth is lashon hara or hurting people. Then that person is surely tomei. A person has to be careful what comes out of his mouth, not to hurt somebody, not to talk lashon hara. We should be zeicher to this. Amen v'amen. Continuing further with Chassidic Torah. So it says in the parsha that Moshe Rabbeinu was told, "V'dibartem el hasela," you should speak to the rock, and the rock will give out water. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah want to know, what did the Rebbeinu Shalom mean that speak to the rock and it'll give out water? What did the Rebbeinu Shalom mean to teach? And they say, the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu was that Klal Yisrael should see the power of speech, because through speech a solid rock can give out water. They should learn the power of speech, to be careful with your speech, because look at it, look how powerful speech is. It could break through a stone, a solid stone, and produce water. That's the lesson that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted. We should be zeicher to realize speech is very powerful, and we have to be very careful the way we use it. Continuing with Chassidic Torah. So, as we started speaking before, that Moshe Rabbeinu was afraid. Moshe Rabbeinu was afraid of Oig Melech HaBoshan, and the Rebbeinu Shalom said, "Al tira oisai." Don't be afraid of him. Ki biyotcha nosati oisai, because in your hand have I given him over. He will not be able to survive against you. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah say, what's the meaning of "in your hand have I given him"? In your hand. Is the Rebbeinu Shalom putting Oig Melech HaBoshan in Moshe Rabbeinu's hand? Oh, the Chassidic Torah say, there's a meaning behind this. The schus of tzedakah, which is given by a hand, through the schus of tzedakah, a person can be mizgaber, can triumph, can be victorious over the Seineim Shel Yisrael. How can a person, what should we do to be able to be victorious over the enemies of Klal Yisrael? Give tzedakah, and tzedakah will help. Ki biyodcha nosati oisai. We should be zeicher to this. Amen v'yamin.